Today we're exploring a hidden gem in the Midwest, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. From stunning waterfalls and charming streets to unique local restaurants and outdoor adventures, we're going to be diving into what makes this city so special. So if you're looking for the perfect day in Sioux Falls, here's how we spent 24 hours in the city. Let's jump in. Good morning. Today we're spending the entire day in Sioux Falls, starting in downtown with coffee. Whenever we travel together, we become coffee snobs, and we're always visiting new coffee shops on the lookout for the best cortado. Bonus points if they also have amazing baked goods to go with it, and so we are excited to try Josiah's. I went with the homemade brown sugar Pop-Tart. Pops went with a caramel roll. We're starting strong today.
That's right.
This spot was recommended to us by multiple people, and thanks for the pro tip, Josiah's was awesome. That was a great find. Really good food there, fun pastries. Now we're heading out to walk around and see sculptures. I bet you didn't know that Sioux Falls is one of the largest annual exhibits of public sculptures in the world. They have an amazing sculpture walk that goes all throughout the downtown area and that has displayed over 1,000 sculptures since it started in 2004. The sculptures here are on loan by the artists, and each year the public votes on their favorite, which is awarded a cash prize, and then there's a best of show, which is actually purchased by the city and put on permanent display. It's such a unique thing to see, and it pairs really well with the historic downtown. I think this is my favorite one so far, this steampunk fish. Is that your favorite so far?
I like that one. I like that. That looks like me.
Yeah. This is a cool waterfall. I don't think it's part of the sculpture walk, but it's cool to have in the downtown area. This one's called I Wanna Go Home. And it's a look all the parents know, I'm sure. We walked a few more blocks in the downtown area to see a couple more sculptures, and then we headed over to our next stop, the old Courthouse Museum. This museum is housed inside of the old courthouse, which was built in 1890 and is one of the oldest buildings in Sioux Falls. This is called the Unisphere, and it was something that was supposed to be built down here, but never was completed. Would have been pretty unique though, that's for sure. This is a collection of the people who work here. There's 100 favorite artifacts that they have in their collection. The Batwing suit. Heck yes.
Jumped from a plane in a bat suit.
This is a boot stretcher from the 1880s, and if Pops was a cowboy back then, he definitely would need a boot stretcher. This is an awesome collection. I wish all museums let their staff pick their favorite things. It's just a bunch of random cool stuff. The exhibits are housed on multiple floors, and there's actually a lot that you can take in here, especially if you're interested in the city's history and the state's history. And here's the original historic courthouse. They have it set up for an event right now, but wow, it's beautiful. And here's the historic courtroom balcony. Fantastic museum, especially for free. Definitely come here if you're interested in history. Since we only had pastries for breakfast, we were hungry for lunch already, and we headed over to Bread and Circus Sandwich Kitchen, which was featured on diners, drive-ins, and dives. Pops went at the Vietnamese fried chicken, and it has the Sioux Falls flag right at the top.
I love it. I got the Sioux Falls flag here. I love it.
I got the Hawaiian bowl with spicy water, which is a jalapeno-infused water, and you pour as much as you want on it. This place is so good. This is their summer special. Definitely get it if you like these things, but Pops' sandwich is also very good.
I'm loving my Vietnamese fried chicken. Never had before. It's excellent.
After finishing lunch, we continued our art tour of Sioux Falls by going to one of the most iconic pieces in the sculpture walk, the Arc of Dreams.
So the sentiment behind this is the idea to dream big and take a leap of faith. Well, it's easy to see this is a big dream here. Look at that thing. But that gap in the middle indicates that leap of faith that you have to take. And probably many of you know that feeling when you want to do something big in your life and you have to take that leap of faith. This is really portrayed well here.
It really is a beautiful sculpture that you definitely need to see, and be sure to come back at nighttime, which you'll see at the end of the video as well. Right next to that, there's a lot of murals, including the Sioux Falls mural, which is often popular for photos. Heading on from the murals and Pop's inspirational speech, and we're going to the falls. 3 minutes drive later, and we've made it to the most popular attraction in Sioux Falls, Falls Park. Apparently you can go up to the top of this, so that's the first thing we're gonna do. Look at this viewpoint. Wow, it's beautiful.
So I asked the question about how much of this is as it originally was. And the docent said it's pretty much the same except for the outside and changing of the rocks to build this bridge, but this is the way it originally was, they claim.
Check it out, you can even see the Arc of Dreams way out in the distance as well. Be sure to check the hours this is open, as you don't want to miss this view when you're visiting the city. Alright, now we're heading down to explore the Falls Park. Falls Park is one of the top attractions in the city, and it makes up about 120 acres north of downtown. It's easy to see why, as this is a beautiful area with multiple waterfalls, bridges you can cross, and rocks that you can climb on. Of course, there's also sculptures here if you want to see more art while you're exploring. We walked about a half mile around to the base of the falls, and while they're not that tall, they're very wide and actually very powerful as well. What a cool spot to have in the downtown area! You'll see more of this park when we come back for sunset, but next we headed over to the Cathedral of St Joseph. We were told by a couple people in the city that this was a historic spot we really needed to visit. We always love seeing impressive cathedrals like this, so we figured we'd stop by, and we were blown away by how beautiful it was. The building process started in 1915 and it was completed in 1919. There's a massive pipework and multiple stained glass windows, and overall it's just a beautiful piece of architecture in the city. Pops and I are really digging this city. There's a lot of cool stuff here to explore. That's a beautiful church. We've already had a great morning, and we're gonna head back into downtown and get some macaroons after we find the Sioux Falls statue of David. Who knew?
And the pastor of this church, he said, be careful, you will never leave, because he loves this city so much. It's a beautiful city.
We saw the Sioux Falls mural earlier and we saw David on it, and we couldn't figure out why there was a David, but Pops did some research.
Apparently there was a local couple, wealthy couple, who hired an artist to go to Italy, do a bronze cast of David and the Moses statue, and brought them over here, donated them to the city, the Moses statues at Augustana College, and David is right here in the park. And it's funny because historically they say there was quite a brouhaha about this statue, because one aspect of it, I'll let you decide what it might be, felt that it should be covered. So you can use your imagination, figure out what that might be.
Which one that was. So yeah, if you want to see the statue of David, you don't gotta go to Europe, you can see it right here in Sioux Falls. From there, we headed to downtown again to go to CH Patisserie. Ran by famed pastry chef Chris Hanmer, who was voted one of the top 10 pastry chefs in America and who won Bravo's Top Chef Just Desserts. This spot is a must visit for dessert fans in Sioux Falls. First off, I got a drink and I was shocked because it has this on top, and she said they have a latte printer that uses coffee extract to print. That's pretty cool. All right, welcome to the segment of the show called Pops and Josh have no idea what we're talking about in relation to this item.
And yet we'll give an opinion.
Yeah, I thought it was called a macaroon, but it is called a macaron. Also, shout out to my friends Matt and Nat, who put this in their video and encouraged me to come. They have an amazing travel videos. I will link to it down in the description. All right, where are you going? I'm going with pistachio first. What are you going with?
I'll go with the one they said is the most popular, which is salted caramel.
Nice crispy consistency with a kind of soft interior with the filling or something like that.
Yeah, it's delicious. I don't know, it's a little bit crispy on the outside, gooey on the middle. It's yummy. And the vanilla, I'm all about vanilla, but I also get it that when you're in a kind of a high-end place, the flavors are subtle. And so this is a yummy vanilla, but it's a subtle vanilla. It's not like in-your-face vanilla.
All right, so based on the other macarons you've had, out of 10, what do you give with this?
I don't know. I'll give it an 8. I do want to say, though, for these folks, though, that I did have macarons in Paris, and I actually brought a dozen back for Amy from Paris.
But you said you didn't remember eating them.
I don't remember eating them. That's not for either, for Amy. That's what point out. That's the kind of father-in-law I am.
Yeah, so you didn't eat them. So what are you grading your 8 at? I'm giving it a 10 out of 10 because it's the first experience I've had. So I have nothing to rate it against. Well, so 8 out of 10 with nothing to compare it to, and then straight 10
other
out of 10
than
for
having
me.
had a macaron in Paris itself.
You said you didn't have one. You said you brought them home.
I brought some home for Amy, but of course when I'm in the place I had a macaron.
That's not very clear whether Pops is
See how hard it is to be me on these trips sometimes, I'll tell you what.
So yeah, if you like macarons, you should absolutely come here and definitely get this printed latte or cappuccino as well. We wanted to walk around the downtown a little bit more to get a feel for the area, and we found ourselves outside of Zandbroz Variety and decided to walk in on a whim. This ended up being one of the best decisions we made while we were in Sioux Falls, as the store itself is really cool, but the antique area in the back is just something special by itself. This is an incredibly cool shop. The vintage area is so well curated and has so many unique things to look at. Definitely come see it. If I had a lot more money and a way to take everything home, I probably would have bought a quarter of the store. As we left the downtown area, we decided we had spent a lot of the day eating and should probably do something more active. You know, Pops and I can't say no to a good competition, so we figured we'd check out this great shots.
It's gonna be a question of who is worse, because we're both terrible.
We're not golfers, but it's fun. Pops has also never done anything like this before, so this should be fun. You're gonna be in pain tomorrow. Where'd that one go? Where'd that one go? This is pretty bad. Both of us are just getting zeros over and over again. It's hard to be too competitive. If you've never done anything like this before, you should definitely check it out. And if you go on a weekday in the morning or the early afternoon, you can usually get a pretty good price. We've realized that both of us are bad, but that Pops is worse.
Very good.
We relaxed for a little bit in the hotel, but we're out again for dinner and sunset. First stop, this Indian taco place that I've heard a lot of good things about. We love trying unique places when we travel, and this is a highly rated spot in Sioux Falls that we were told had authentic Lakota cuisine. All right, Pop's got bison fry bread, and we got fry bread fingers, which have cinnamon sugar and honey on them. And then I got the regular beef fry bread. It looks really great, and it's made to order here.
I really like it. The fry bread is really nice. And as he said, the flavor profile of the bison is just a little, or the buffalo is just a little bit different. It's very, very nice. I enjoy it.
I'm no expert on fry bread, but I've had it a lot during our trips, and I have to say this is probably my favorite one I've ever had. The fry bread here is incredible, and all the flavors and seasoning, very, very good. We're back in downtown to go to this cool arcade bar before sunset at Falls Park. As I said before, my dad and I never pass up a good opportunity to have a competition, and we've played video games basically my entire life. First game down, I beat Pops at Pong, a game he was growing up with. Next up, Pac-Man, another game that Pops should be good at. No, no, don't eat me! Oh, no. We spent about 45 minutes just walking around and playing all the different games, and this is a great spot as they have good drinks and all the games were relatively well priced. We didn't even get through our entire $25 card before we left, and we actually gave it to somebody on the way out. After I beat Pops in all the video games, now we're heading to sunset.
Not even close.
The sun is just behind the trees, so we were actually a little bit late, I think. But we got 45 minutes till sunset, so we'll see if the colors change at all. I thought 45 minutes would give me enough time to get here before the waterfall was shadowed, but unfortunately that was not the case. That didn't really matter though. It was a beautiful time to be at the falls, and there was hundreds of other people there with us. Plus, when you walked all the way up to the upper area, you could still get a little bit of that sunburst on the falls. I can't complain. That's pretty much the perfect way to end your day in Sioux Falls. We spent about 30 minutes just sitting here and soaking in the sunset before making our way back to the Arc of the Dreams for one last stop. We still had a while before it was dark, but we wanted to get a little taste of what it looked like with the lights. And with that, our 24 hours in Sioux Falls is done. Hopefully you enjoyed exploring with us. We'll see you on the next one.